Hey guys, this is Miss Regine from SOAR Educational Services, and today I'm going to teach you how to identify different trigonometric ratios on the unit circle. This begins in geometry, but this will also be your passport to higher level math, algebra 2, and trigonometry pre-calculus. So if we have to find the sine of 60, it's not that we need to know every single part of the unit circle, but there's a few things we need to remember. So sine of 60 is based on the rules for the 60-degree triangle, the 30, 60, 90-degree triangle. And since this is a unit circle, the unit of 1 is our hypotenuse. So like all around, we have that unit of 1. If you think about it, it's a circle, so all around you have that 1. The radius is 1. So now if this is 1, the 1 across from the 30 is 1/2 because it's always half of whatever is across from the 90, whatever the hypotenuse is. And this is square root of 3 over 2. So now, if sine is opposite over hypotenuse, remember SOHCAHTOA? So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So the opposite is square root of 3 over 2. The hypotenuse is 1. And that would just simplify the square root of 3 over 2. So that's the sine of a 60-degree angle. It's positive because everything is positive in the first quadrant. All right, let's try another one. And you can pause the video if you want to try it on your own first and see if you get the correct answer. So this one, 7 pi over 4. So one thing you might be a good idea to remember is that the denominator of 4 is that 45-degree angle. So it's half of each quadrant. So this is 1 pi over 4. We have 2 pi over 4 here, 3 pi over 4. 4 pi over 4 is that pi. 5 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4, and 7 pi over 4 is right here. So it's part of the 45-degree angle. So that would be our reference angle. So it's 45, a 45, 45. So remember, as I said, this is a unit circle. So our hypotenuse is 1. And for the 45, 45, 90-degree triangle, the sides are square root of 2 over 2. Oh, and this one is negative because we already know this is just our, oh, oops. This is y, this is x. This is just our standard xy axis. Y is negative over here. But now we're doing cosine. So cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So the adjacent is square root of 2 over 2. The hypotenuse is 1. So we just have square root of 2 over 2. So if just remembering that 30, 60, 90 triangle rule or 45, 45, 90 triangle rule will help you a lot. Okay, let's try another one. Cosine of 4 pi third. Okay, so now with this one, what we need to realize is the denominator of 3 is our 60-degree. So that's a good one to just have memorized. Okay, denominator 3 is our 60-degree. So we have 0, such as 0 right here. And then we have 1/3 pi, 2/3 pi, 3/3 pi is right here. When we have just pi, and then 4/3 pi will be right here. So as I said, it's a 60-degree angle. That's our reference angle. This is our 90 right here. So we're back to that 30, 60, 90 triangle that we first started with. And so this is our unit circle. This is 1. Across from the 30 is going to be 1/2. But now this is our x-axis. The x-axis is negative right here. So that's negative 1/2. Across from the 60 will be that square root of 3 over 2. And it's also negative because y is also negative in this quadrant. So cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Well, that's just negative 1/2. So that's the cosine of 4 pi over 3. And we'll try one last one. The tangent of 60 degrees. And actually, you know what? Let's try the tangent of 120 degrees. So we already tried the first quadrant. So let's do the second quadrant. Okay, so 120 degrees will be right here. The reference angle is still 60. So we have our 30 and our 90. Okay, so across from the 30 is negative 1/2. We just talked about that. Again, this is where our x-axis. So it's negative 1/2. Across from the 90, oh, I already did that one. Across from the 60 is square root of 3 over 2, but it is positive over here. It's positive because y is positive in the upper quadrant. So now tangent is opposite over adjacent. So we have this. Now, if we have to simplify this by hand, remember these are fractions. So we're going to keep, we're going to change, and we're going to flip. You can cross cancel. Our 2's cancel right here. So you are just left with negative square root of 3. So that is negative square root of 3. Tangent is negative in this quadrant. One way to remember this is all student take calculus. All of the functions are positive here. Sine is positive here, but everything else is negative. So that means tangent is negative in the second quadrant. Tangent is positive here, and that's because tangent is opposite over adjacent. 2 negative makes a positive because the x and your y. It's actually y over x. So they're both, it's a negative y, and this third quadrant is the negative x. And then cosine is positive here, and all the other functions are negative. So that is a quick way of how to identify the different trigonometric ratios using the unit circle. I hope this was helpful. Do remember to share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.